Hi, I'm Callum from Tyne Valley Motorhomes. Today I bring you the handover on the Chausson 788 2021 model. Starting on the driver's side of the vehicle, your tyre pressures are just on the inside of the driver's door there. So you've got your tyre pressures just there. And then with this being a titanium premium model, you have central locking on the habitation door, so you'd simply unlock the cab, unlock the back door, which will open the habitation door, or you can use the little key which opens all the garages and lockers, which will also open the habitation door as well. So you've got your two grid vents and of course your awning light. Then in here WC is your cassette toilet. Again, this key opens the cassette door. And you simply slide the cassette out, lift the orange handle to slide the cassette out. Got some wheels on there so you can wheel it to your designated disposal point. And then you take the cap off, go to your disposal point, which is normally behind or beside the toilet block, press the button, tip out. Once you've tipped it out, if you put some water in and just give it a rinse and tip out again. And then to fill back up with chemical, this is a measuring stick, so you've got 60, 75 and 120 ml of chemical in there. Or if you are using the tablet form, so if you're using the tablet form, what you do is you put a pint of water in and drop a tablet straight into the cassette via the toilet. Down here, this is indicating just behind the back wheel that this is your waste water. So you've got a waste holding tank, so anything you put down a shower, down the shower plug, the sink plug, the hand basin, all goes into a holding tank, and you'd simply pull this and it'll drain off just like so. So this is the water we've just tested the vehicle with. On site there's a designated waste disposal area as well. And then this is your external gas outlet point. So if you wanted a Cadillac or a barbecue, you get a connector which you just push in there, and then you turn the lock-off valve there and power your gas appliance. So you will need some gas hosing and some Jubilee clips to connect the spigot to the Jubilee clip, and then connect the other end of the gas hosing to your Cadillac or barbecue. Now at the back of the vehicle, so these are your garage, so it's a new designed garage door handles. So you up to unlock, flat to lock. And in here you do have your various bits and pieces. So you've got a light for when you're in the garage area. You've got your hooks for tying down a load. You've got, it's heated, it's got 230 volt when hooked up and 12 volt. You've got your silver screens, your awning handle, your awning rafter bar, and your carpets in there. And then if you just push the door in and then just push the handle down. You've got the same access from the back. You've got your reverse camera at the top. This is your wheel where the back panel is being stomping for a bike rack, which would sit here, and then you would wind it down should you want one fitted. And then you do have, so this customer has also had parking sensors fitted. So normally they just come standard with a reverse camera. This customer has fitted parking sensors. And then LPG, liquid petroleum gas. This is your gas locker where it fits one 6 kilogram Callum propane bottle in. And as you can see, to connect the pigtail to the bottle, it's a left hand thread, and then you get a gas spanner or adjustable wrench and tight and just nip that up. Turn on and off at the top of the bottle. Obviously turn it off when you're traveling, and obviously make sure the bottle is strapped in by the straps provided. You'll also notice that you get a 25 meter hookup lead and a fire extinguisher with the van. And then in the bag is your Ford towing eye, which you normally find in the bag, but sometimes you can put these behind the passenger seat where the leisure battery is. And again, this locks. TrumaC vent, so you don't need to take the cover off. This is just a standard vent exhaust for the heater. You've got your outside shower point, so it's a cold water feed for the bikes, the boots, the dogs. You just push in there, make sure the pump's on inside the van, which I'll get onto in a minute, and then you'll be able to pressurise the water and hose off the various items you need to. But you only get this on the premium model. And then this is called your Techni box. So in your Techni box, you have your freshwater fill up. So this is where you get a hose pipe and put your hose pipe in there and fill until it either overflows or until you're happy you've got enough water on board, which you can see on the main control panel, but you can also see in the tank. When the tank is empty, you can take this nut off and clean the tank out once a season should you wish. And then this little lever here, so you'd lift that up, and should you have a full tank, that'll drain it down to 20 litres, enough to give you an extra bit of payload and still enough for you to have a cup of tea or stop and use the toilet on a long journey. But what you do is you'd lift this lever up, put the pump on, and then open the tap inside, which will then allow this water to drain down outside to 20 litres. If you did want it empty fully, you have to get underneath the vehicle, and you'll just see on there a black bung. That is a 15mm compression fitting. You just simply pull that off and that'll drain the whole tank off. And then this side you've got all your electrics. So you've got your RCDs and trips here on 240 electrics. So try, if you've tripped the van out, try here before you try your site. And on this side you've got all your 12-volt fuses for your various 12-volt items through your leisure battery. So it would be a good idea to carry some spare blade fuses. And as you can see, you've got your mains connectivity point. So to connect the vehicle up, obviously you get your 25-metre hookup lead, like so. Lift the collar, slide on, like so, and then unhook, push the lever down and unhook the vehicle. Always hook the van up first, then walk to the power source and connect, and obviously unhook the power source first before you unhook the vehicle, so then you're not walking around with a live lead. And now at the passenger door, so you've got your capless fuel filler here, so this is where you fill with fuel. Just put the fuel filler in there, and then below you do have your AdBlue. So your AdBlue is about a 20-litre tank. It'll indicate on the dash, it'll give you a mileage countdown, and you'd simply fill there. You can buy it at the pumps, as most trucks and wagons now take AdBlue, or you can buy it in the drum and keep a drum with you in the back and then just top up. But that will give you a mileage countdown on the dash when it needs it. Put it in as soon as it needs it, otherwise the vehicle can go into limp mode if it goes too far down. And if it goes from, I don't know, say 1,000 miles to 0, the engine simply won't start, because the AdBlue is needed for the exhaust system. Like I was saying, underneath your passenger seat is where your leisure batteries live, and this half bar here allows you to spin the seat. So it allows you to turn the seat round into the back. But then you can, if you did get stuck, you just adjust the driving position like so. On the windows you've got your MS car blinds, so you'd pinch them, slide them down like so. So slide that down, and that'll just connect there. And then you've got the same on the windscreen, so they just come out. It's cut away to go around the mirror. The other one will come and magnetically stick to the other one. So with it being a Ford, you'd use the key to open the bonnet. So you put the key in, you'll turn it to the left, which is the driver's side, then you turn it to the right, which is the passenger side, which will then pop the bonnet. And underneath you've got your, so underneath this clip, this is where you would get a positive feed for a jump start. So you put your clip there, so your lead there, and then you'd put your negative onto the engine hoist here. So you may just need to give it a scrub about on there, and it'll earth. And then you've got your various liquids. So at the top of here you've got your power steering fluid, no sorry, you've got your radiator fluid, my apologies. And then here you've got your brake fluid, your oil, and your screen wash. And on the front there you've got your weight, so 3.5 ton gross vehicle weight, 3.5 ton train weight, and then obviously your axle weight, and that is your build number. You have got a towing weight, but to get a towing weight you've got to order a tow bar through Tragano Services, so you've got to order it through your Chausson dealer, and then your weight for this vehicle will then be changed on your certificate of conformity and logbook to allow you to tow. Once inside the vehicle, this is your main control panel. So you've got your first switch on the top is your master switch, on and off, which is your green switch. And then it'll tell you here if you're hooked up. So you've got your little hookup lead. So we are on mains 240 volt. Next to it you've got your lights, which are all individually switched around the vehicle. And then you've got your pump, so you've got your little tap there. So should you have sufficient water in the tank and you want to use the taps, toilets, shower or exterior shower if it's fitted to your model, you can turn this on and this will pressurize the water. And then you do have your awning light, so this is a light above the door outside. And then these buttons correspond with the ones down the side. So you've got the one of the trailer, which is your leisure battery reading, and the leisure battery location is underneath the passenger seat. And then you've got the one of the truck, so this is your engine battery. And then you've got your fresh water reading, so there you've got just under a full tank of fresh water. This little yellow dot will flash red when it is empty, and then when the waste is full, this line will go to the bottom one and indicate the waste needs empty, which is the pull lever behind the driver's back wheel. And then if you just click here, you can dim and brighten this control panel for the people that are sleeping in the bed above. It might be too bright or for you to physically see it, so if you just keep pressing, it'll brighten itself back up like so. And then next to it is your TrumaC control panel. So on the Chausson models, your fuel sources are electric and fuel, so they do not use gas for the heating or hot water system. So to operate the panel, so from a blank screen you just press and hold the wheel, which will turn it on and off. You'll get to this screen here and then you'll press enter. You have the van with the thermometer in the far left hand corner. This is the temperature of the vehicle, so you can have it all the way to off or all the way to 30 degrees. So for this we'll just say 30 degrees. Once you're happy with that, you would just press enter. Saves the temperature. Then you've got the thermometer with the water in, so this is your water, so you can have it on off if there's no water in the tank. Eco, which is equivalent to 50 degrees, or hot, which is 70 degrees. Or you can have it on boost, which will turn the heating off and prioritize the water. So for this we'll just say hot, which is 70 degrees of heating your water. And then moving, you've got your gas bottle and electricity signs. This is what's source. So you've got fuel, which is diesel on its own, which you'd use if you were wild camping and weren't hooked up. A mixture of 1 kilowatt of electric and fuel. A mixture of 2 kilowatts of electric and fuel. You'd use this setting in the winter more to get the vehicle or water up to temperature quicker. Electric on 1 kilowatt, which you'd use depending on what your site output was, or electric on 2. So for this we'll just say mix 2, because it'll bring everything up to a temperature quicker. And then you do have your fan in the right hand corner, so you can have it on eco, which will just save that battery a little bit, or you can have it on high if you're hooked up. It's up to you. It's just a 12 volt fan which assists the heating around the various parts of the vehicle. And then the bottom you can have a timer, so you can time it to come on, start and finish, but you can only do that once. The clock on the display panel, and then should you get a warning triangle in the middle, you'll go to the spanner in the bottom right hand corner, go to preset, press enter, it'll say reset, and then it will completely turn this panel off and restart the system. So you'd have to set the temperature, the water, the fuel, the fan all again, and then to turn off you just press and hold. So now in the kitchen area, as you can see, you've got 2 gas rings which are lit. and then one electric hot plate, which is this one here, which illuminates red. So do just make sure that you haven't caught this dial, and then you've hooked the vehicle up and the lid's down, because it will shatter the glass, as heat will shatter the splashback there. Make sure it is cool before you put it down on the other side as well. And then this side you do have your grill pan, so you've got your grill at the top. So you've got your oven, so it might just take some time to put the gas through if it's a new vehicle like this one. And then, but always try and light the oven first and then the grill. So you've got your grill there and your oven below. But make sure when you take the oven shelf out that you always put the raised bit to the back of the oven, as it stops the trays from covering the burners and the burners getting blocked. Got storage in here, cutlery drawer, your bed switch for your drop down bed above the lounge, which I'll get onto in a moment, a 3-pin socket and 2 USBs. Storage up here, and then we've got a little black tab here for the light, like so. And a rocker switch here, which will be for the light when the bed is down. Opposite the cooking area, you've got your long, tall, slimline fridge freezer. So you turn on and off here. This is a FET-fed fridge. So A stands for automatic energy selection, so it picks out the best energy source it has to offer. So at the moment we're hooked up, we've got a gas bottle on, but it is on automatic. It's automatically picked up hook up to save your gas. If I was to take the hook up out now, it would go to gas and self-ignite. If I was to start the engine, it would go to the battery, which the battery is designed to only keep the temperature of the fridge it was previously at. So the idea here is, if you're lucky enough to keep this at home, or you've been on site and you're ready to move from site to site, as long as you've had the fridge hooked up, and then the night before you've put your shopping in, say you're going away the next morning, you've put your shopping in, you've allowed it to cool, and then you're ready to start travelling. If it's on automatic, it'll do its own thing when you unhook it and obviously isolate the gas, start the engine, it'll send a feed straight away from the alternator. If not, what you can do is you can manually put it on. So you go from, take the airway, we're on hook up, we're on battery, it's failed with a code 6, and as you can see the button has gone red. That's because the engine is currently not switched on. And then you've got gas and it self-ignites. Temperature here, so 5 being the coldest, 1 being the warmest. And like I said, just leave it on automatic and it does its own thing. Coming into the fridge, you've got your fridge and your freezer box. So once you've finished using it for the season, or you've just putting it away for a month or so because you're just not planning on using the van, clean the fridge out, take everything out, give it a quick wipe out, and then the last thing you want to do is shut the door. So if you just pull this little blue clip out, it stops the door from locking and it allows air circulation in and out of the fridge. Above the fridge, in the cupboard, you have your solar panel. So you've got your solar panel meter, which you can see the level of what's in your battery, and then you've got your regulator there as well. So it's a dual charging regulator, so it'll charge your leisure battery and your engine battery together. And also above the fridge, you've got your pull-out TV bracket. So on the titanium premium models, these come with the TV brackets. On other models, it may be an option. So what you do is chrome tab, pinch it, slide it out, you'd connect your telly onto here, and then you'd pull the chrome catch at the bottom to turn it round, and like I said, you can fit your telly on here. These screw holes are designed to hold the TV. And then in the top corner, you've got a 12 volt, a 240 and a TV aerial point. As long as you've fitted an aerial, that will work. So your large roof light above your kitchen is a winding one, so you would just wind to open, wind to shut, and then if you look in here you'll see a little red line that indicates it is securely fastened and shut, and you can store your handle away. So now in the toilet, to operate your toilet you've got a blue button here, so if you press that it will flush the toilet. As you can hear, it's flushing. So there, it's filled up with water. Always flush the toilet first before use, then open the blade so you slide it to the right. Use the toilet with the blade open, flush and then close the blade. This is because if you flush first it lubricates the blade. If you weren't, it would make the blade start to get stiff and stuck. So always flush first to lubricate the hatch, and then obviously open once you've used the toilet and close again to get the cassette out. On the back here it will tell you when the cassette is full by a light indicating here. Put toiletry space there, toiletry space underneath. Obviously one light for in here, one light for your across for the light in the shower, which is opposite. It's just on a magnetic catch, and then more toiletry space in there. Above you've got a skylight, which is the same in the shower, so I'll show you this one. And you just turn to open. You've got a fly screen and blackout blind on there. Fly screen and blackout blinds on all skylights and windows on this model. And then you've got a little lock there, so you can lock that into position when you're about to travel off. Hanging rail. This is more beneficial in the shower than it is in here, because what I do in the shower, if I've been caught in the rain, is so you could hang things up in the shower and let it drip dry and put the heating on and they'll dry out in no time. But in here you could hang your towels if you wish. And then across, catch on the door, just magnetic, you can push the doors in and out. Obviously you've got the same skylight and rail for hanging your clothes, duckboard, so you can bear more weight in the shower area, so that can be lifted out to clean. And then you do have your shower head. So when winterizing the vehicle, always make sure you leave all the taps open within the vehicle. So there's kitchen tap, hand basin tap, shower tap, and obviously the boiler and the taps outside, which I'll get into in a minute. But leave your shower tap open. Take your shower head off the shower hose and allow the shower hose to lie in the shower tray. As you can see, it's looped there. Any water that was to coil up in here has the potential to freeze, so I would lie that down so all the water just dribbles out the shower tray. Now underneath your island bed at the rear, so if you, this is on gas struts, so you can lift it up and get access to the back and the various storage spaces. But you've also got your handle here, so if you just pull your handle out, push it through the hole, and it will connect to this bar here. And then as it is a easy bed, you can raise the bed up to get your bikes in the garages. And as you can see, that shutter there is going round, as this is just to fill the space in when the bed is in its closed position. And then you can get the bed into any position you want, depending on the load you've got in the rear garage. And then located on the back of the passenger side of the vehicle, underneath this hatch in the floor, so you just lift that up, and then you have a shelf so you can store underneath there. But if you lift these shelving units up, so just lift them up there. This is what is called your Antifrost Control for your boiler. So this is practically your boiler drain down tap. So when the diamond is in line with the vehicle and the nib, there's a black nib, is down, and the button at the bottom on the right hand side is pushed in, this is holding water. So the boiler holds 10 litres of water at any one time. Your boiler is underneath your bed. In the winter, it is very important that you let the water out the boiler, otherwise it can freeze, and if it freezes it will crack the boiler, flood the van and crack any pipes as well, and isn't covered under any warranty, as it's your responsibility to drain the vehicle off. So what you need to do is you need to turn it so it's across the vehicle, the button pops out, the nib pops out, and you hear the water running directly underneath the chassis. Allow it to drain off with no power in. So come on with no power on the vehicle, don't put the control panel on, just do this. Obviously make sure the fresh and waste is shut or open as well. And then isolate, you just put it into the position it was at when you are ready to use, which is this position like so. Your water pump's also underneath here as well, so when you open the tap, this will kick in to pressurize the water. But always drain it off when you're leaving the vehicle, especially in the winter. On both sides of the bed, you've got your wardrobe area, so you've got your hanging rail, you've got your individual lights, which you just touch, and storage above. On this side you've got a hanging rail, and on this side you do have shelves. So this is how to make your smart lounge up. So underneath your smart lounge is a full-size foldable seat for travelling. So what you do is you would turn this back, pull the base cushion up, which, as you know, the backrest has got Isofix on. Put your base cushion from your lounge back in situ. You do have a belt and then a backrest, which obviously you would slide underneath the seat belt. Headrest, which you can adjust, and there you do have a full-size travelling seat for an adult. And if you look just underneath here on the one behind the passenger seat, this is where your location for your charger unit is. So it's turned on, so this charges your leisure battery when hooked up, and then should the leisure battery be full, it will start to charge the engine battery. But that's the position there. You don't need to do really anything with that. So to operate your table, you've got a red lever here, which you push, and then you put your weight onto the table, and you put it down into its lowest position, which is like your coffee table, or if you're eating, you have it in its full position, which is slide the extension out, and then you can push it round into the front of the cab as well, so you can push it back and forth on the run. So using the switch in the kitchen area, this is your bed coming down to its lowest position. Your ladder is just above the luton there, which clips on here, and then you've got nets. Should you have children, you clip them to here, and there's just little turnbuckles on the inside of the bed frame where they connect as well, stop them rolling out. And then you would just send the bed back up. Obviously take your pillows off, you can leave your duvets on, leave the bed made, but do take your pillows off as it will get snug up to the ceiling. And then there is just a key up here, so you can isolate the switch should you have young children, to stop them playing with the switch and send the bed down, which is just here. But should the bed fail on electric, say you run out of power when you're wild camping on 12 volt and the bed's down and you want it up, you simply remove the key, remove this panel, use your lever, which is supplied in the pack that you get with the vehicle, in the book pack, clips on the top of the motor, and you'd manually wind the bed up or down. So now in the cab, so at the right of the driver you have your handbrake, which is a foldable handbrake. So you might think it's off, push it in and the handbrake light will go out, and then you hear it ratchet it back up. That's a handbrake back on, but it folds down to allow the seat to spin, otherwise the seat won't be able to turn. You've got you can lock and unlock your doors here, so you can lock the doors, and then that will also lock the habitation door. and come up on here that it's locked. You've got your electric windows, mirror adjustment, and then you manually do the bottom one. On this titanium premium model, you've got automatic lights. So you've got automatic lights, otherwise you can have them your main lights on, your side lights are off, and your headlight adjustment. This dims and brightens the clocks when the lights are on, and then you've got rear and front fogs. On the wheel itself, you've got all your audio controls this side, which then goes through the display, so you can go to your display and see your average fuel usage, your average speed, your range, your instant fuel usage, and your digital speedo here on this one. Volume, so obviously skip tracks, volume this side, and mute. And then you do have cancel and resume for your cruise control, which is the top one, and your speed limiter, which is the bottom one. This one is an automatic, so all titanium premium models are now automatic. So they're on a Ford 170 brake, 6-speed auto. So you've got park, reverse, neutral drive, and a manual, where you would then use your thumb switch to go between a gear, which you can't intervene when in auto anyway. So should it be struggling or you want to overtake something, you can drop a gear. Hazards mode goes between normal and eco, but just leave it in normal. And this turns off your traction control. All your climate control, so on, obviously demist, where you want the air to go, face or footwell, heated mirrors, recirculation, aircon, and with it being a Ford, it has got the heated windscreen, which is this one here. Obviously temperature, so you can go all the way to max on aircon and it'll turn it on, or max on demist. Fan speed, USB for the head unit, and 12 volt. These head units can be updated via the Accent website, so when you go on to Accent updates and your model on the Ford is a F280, and you would just get a memory stick, download the latest software onto a memory stick, pop it in here, and then put the ignition on, and then this will know that there's a memory stick in with a file, and it'll download the file onto there. You've got a little SD chip in the side, and you've got navigation, which is Motorhome Pacific, so you go here, go to the right hand corner, new route, and you put your address, postcode, or saved location into there. You've got FM and DAB radio. You've got your reverse camera on here. When you put the vehicle into reverse, it comes up on here. Bluetooth, so you can pair your phone and stream music over Bluetooth. So you go to Bluetooth, this will search, go onto your smart device, and it will find, it'll be called Accent Pair on Accent on your phone. Then it'll come up here, press pair, make sure the pins match. Then it'll ask you if you want to download your contacts, just press allow, and then you are saved into here. If you do want to do Bluetooth streaming over music, you'd have to go onto Bluetooth, and then this will illuminate when the phone's connected, and as you can see it says music icon, and that will allow you to stream your music over the head unit. Further back you've got USB, obviously when it's detected, camera, and then all your settings in there. You've got a holder here for a phone, so you can put your phone in there and hold your phone above the radio system, should you not be using the sat nav, because it will get in the way otherwise. 12 volt here for a dash cam or any other items you've got, and then you do have a lockable glove box in there. That now brings us to the end of the handover video. And on the keys, obviously you've got unlocks the cab, locks all the doors, opens the habitation motorhome door. When you lock and unlock the van with the Ford key, it will put the alarm on. This fob here, you get 2 of these, or for if the battery dies in this key. You've got the big one, which is arm, and you've got the small one, which is disarm. So should you put the alarm on and then the key battery dies and you can't get it off, this is where this comes in and will turn the alarm off.